The wind is open up the car. Last night I couldn't sleep. The show is hard to carry, but it's really not my home. I think the nails are filthy. I got the car on my feet. And I miss my feeling and my fancy from the Lord. I'll carry it out the pain. And I'll put on some silver. I'll be all down, but I like you, I like you. Come on down to the American Cafe and I'll buy you a bottle of wine. And we'll have a Christmas and smash our empty glasses down. Let's have a round for these streets and soldiers around for these friends of mine. Let's have a round and kiss me in this tourist town. Come on, Carey, get out your pain. I'll put on some silver. Oh, you'll be no man, but I like you. Maybe I'll go to Amsterdam. Maybe I'll go to Rome. And write you a piano and put some flowers in my room. Let's not talk about belly west now. The night is a story dome. And they're scratching rock and roll beneath the mantle of blue. Come on, Carey, get out your cane. I'll get on some silver. Oh, you'll be no daddy, but I like you. When you think about the time, that's when I come to sleep. You know it sure is hard. Okay, it's not working right. But she goes like this. But it sure is hard to leave you in this empty tourist town. You know it sure is hard to leave you in this empty tourist town. Okay. All right, it's me again, high voltage. Let's do it. Take care of Maya, Gabriel. I can't stand waiting anymore. All right. You know it's high voltage, right? Okay, I'm Lasha. Okay, this is about Child Protective Services. First, I want to tell you the story about Gypsy Rose. So we know that Gypsy Rose was born in 1990. She was jailed in 2013 in Aurora, Missouri. Now, Nick Native, Gypsy Rose manipulated Nick into begone me, mother. How else am I supposed to say this? Gypsy Rose and Nick met on Facebook. Yes, Dee Dee had Munchausen by proxy. But here's the problem with Gypsy Rose's story. Now every woman with a sick child has Munchausen by proxy. And because that girl, she had the nerve to convince an autistic man to hurt her mother and then engaged in unsavory relations afterwards when her mother's was in the other room. So we lost Dee Dee Blanchard. Nick is in jail forever because this happened in Aurora, Missouri, and the laws are different in which the same situation happened to Pamela Smart. So now Gypsy Rose's mother is gone. You cannot undo 24 years of trauma. But my question is, how could she go on Facebook, plan this, but she was too afraid to say something to a doctor. The girl knew the difference between right and wrong. I'm not undermining what she went through, because since Gypsy Rose, do you know how many movies have been made about Munchausen by proxy? I'm going to name one, and it's called Run on Netflix with Sarah Pollock, and the daughter's name is Chloe, and the mother makes the daughter ill, essentially feeding her dog medicine, which numbs the legs for her entire life. Horrible movie. But you've heard of baby snatching and that sort of thing. So Run is a very good movie to find out a little bit more about Munchausen by proxy. Now, it wasn't a docu-series, it was a movie. And the movie, you could tell when the mother who had Munchausen by proxy was in the shower, it looked like she had whip marks on her back from when she was very young. So abuse negates abuse, or negates abuse. Okay, so Dee Dee Blanchard is not with us because of Gypsy Rose's and Nick's decision. However, Nick has autism. One lady on TikTok, and I posted her video on my channel because I thought she was right. He has autism, and she said that he was at Forrest Gump level. But Forrest Gump, I don't know if is a right analogy, because Forrest Gump, usually people that are have any type of mental, I don't even like the word disability. Let's say there's something in somebody's cerebral cortex or frontal cortex that isn't working properly. That person will have pervasive judgment. Okay? Gypsy Rose had pervasive judgment because who decides to convince somebody, leave the door open, leave a knife with gloves? That's pretty calculating and thinking, but she couldn't say anything to a doctor. I mean, please. And you want to talk about somebody who slipped through the cracks? Why? Why? Well, it was, it was during Hurricane Katrina when Gypsy Rose's mother went really crazy, taking her to all kinds of hospitals because records were broken and watered down or destroyed. But here's what I don't understand. There's pictures of Gypsy Rose with tube feeding in her stomach. Couldn't doctors figure out what was wrong with her? They don't do blood tests. This could have been stopped if Child Protective Services had stepped in. Okay, that's one block of a story. Now remember where it took place. Aurora, Missouri. Pamela Smart. I don't care. I'm using my phone. Pamela Smart. Pamela Smart. Okay. Born August 16th, 1967. Coral Gables, Florida, United States. Spouse, Gregory Smart. 1989, they were married for a year. Captivated. The Trials of Pamela Smart. Parents, Linda Wojas and John Wojas. Convictions. Accomplice to first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, witness tampering, criminal penalty, life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, criminal status, incarcerated at Bedford Hills Correctional Facilities in Westchester County, New York. Now, what happened with Pamela Smart? Nothing good. So this is where Gypsy Rose's conviction was far too lenient. She's not rehabilitated. She's on, okay, Pamela Smart. Why are they the same? Because Pamela Smart taught in a high school in Big Bend, Wisconsin. The laws are different there, okay? So apparently Pamela Smart convinced 2 high school kids to hurt her husband. Okay, so Gregory Smart is no longer around. He passed in 1990, and Pamela Smart was convicted of conspiracy to commit murder, but she didn't convict or do the murder or participate in the murder. However, she's in life imprisonment, the same age as Gypsy Rose. The 2 men that hurt Pamela Smart's husband are out of jail, and she's still in jail. Similar, but not, except for the crime, and they were the same age. 22, 23, 24. What's the difference? You don't change from 20 to 25 that much. And it's because they were in different states. And I even heard Gypsy Rose Blanchard say this on an interview she was on. And I did subscribe to the channel. I must have 200 subscriptions here. All my subscriptions are on my Facebook page. Okay, so Gypsy is out of prison for essentially committing the same crime as Pamela Smart. 2 different states, because one of them has accessory to murder and one doesn't, from my recollections. But recollections may vary. Now, so she was sentenced in 2013, Gypsy Rose. Pamela was sentenced in 1991, so she's been in jail almost 33 years. 33 years or 23 years. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Child Protective Services did not step in on Dee Dee. Why? Because she was a good liar, and doctors make money with procedures, and she had the money. And Maya's parents take care of Maya. Disgusting story, which also coincides with the trials of Gabriel Fernandez and Kalief. And what was the difference between Maya, Gypsy, Pamela Smart, and Kalief and Gabriel? Kalief and Gabriel were victims of the system, and they're not with us anymore because Child Care Protective Services did not step in at all. And why? Because they were different colored skin than white? I beg to question that. I really do. But this is just my opinion. Take care of Maya. Her mother, Beata, did not have Munchausen by proxy. They accused her of having Munchausen by proxy. They took her daughter away from her, put her in a hospital, St. Johns Hopkins Hospital in Florida. She was in there for 3 months receiving no treatment for her disease, but the insurance company at the hospital were charging the Koslowskis for the treatment that she was supposed to get, but they didn't do it but they charged them for it through their insurance because they were white and rich. And I think things got slid with Gypsy Rose because her mother and her, whether Gypsy Rose wants to admit it or not, she went along with it. When I was 20, even 15, I would have said something. I've been in scary situations before. I've been abused. We have. All of us have in some ways. To the degree we never know. What about Cheryl Linkus, who Child Protective Services didn't check in on in the 60s, and a woman chained her to a pole and had boys come in and do what they wanted to her, and she was 12 or 13 years old. And she's not with us anymore. And the woman's name was Gertrude. It's maddening. I can't do anything about it because it's Child Protective Services. And the one thing I do want to say about Prince Harry and Meghan is the two victims in that situation with Harry and Meghan are the two children. When we look back at YouTube channels that talk about Invisibet and Arch, whatever people say, you're going to regret it. Because whether these children were surrogates, adoption's gone wrong, they have been with Meghan and Harry at some point in life. And I do think Archie is Harry's son. I just don't believe it's a Markle. I really don't. The Sidley twins do, and they have they started their channel way after me, and they're way up there. But like I said, I'm a turtle. I'm not a jackrabbit. Anyways, I hope that helped explain what I was going on about in reference to those Netflix series. But at any rate, my mother and I are going to watch Baby Reindeer again because... And the other thing about Baby Reindeer, I do believe John Gatt, and if he used a little bit of creative, fictional stuff, who gives? It's a true story. You know what? Why did she bring herself forward? You can have records expunged. And if you ask me, the whole story is just sad all the way around, but it needed to be told. And this is the thing about Meghan and Harry. It's like flogging a dead horse. But with Child Protective Services, I'm not in the States. The Royal Grift is in the States. Why doesn't somebody phone Child Protective Services to see if those kids are okay or there? Because they're never with Harry and Meghan. Even that Halloween shot, there were no other kids around. It was the back of them. It looked like a staged paparazzi scene. Do you know that I never hear about Meghan and Harry on mainstream media? I don't watch television. I watch Bill Maher. Oh, I ordered Bill Maher's book. I'll be reading Andrew Gould's book, and I need to go get Becoming by Michelle Obama because there's a participant on the channel who wants to hear that story. If there are any of you that want to hear me finish The Exorcism of Annalise Michael, I will. And I'll do it in one sitting for 3 hours because the book is good. Let me know. Okay, take care of yourselves. I'll do the same. And that is a wrap. Welcoming, respecting all aspects of society and people. Take care and have a great May 29th. It's 11:17 in Beamsville, and I'm going to the dentist to get that tooth fixed. Okay, have a great day, and I'm going to go get my tooth fixed. Wish me luck.